UFC Fight Night, Dolidze versus Hernandez. Here's my experience.
I see my haters proud of me now. When I'm around, it's all smiles. I took over my whole town.
All right, to kick this thing off, I'll give this card a solid 7.5 out of 10. The first two fight nights, not the most exciting fights. Cody Brundage versus McConaughey. And then you had a girls fight. Not the most exciting fight. But the third fight of the night, we had Mr. Uros Medic taking on Gilbert Urbina. This fight, one round, absolute war. Both of them got dropped. When Medic dropped him, he dropped him and finished him immediately. That follow-up right hand was absolutely deadly, and it was very uncalled for, but he did it anyway, and he made sure that fight was over. He is back on the winning track after dropping his last fight. That fight, we probably had the knockout of the year for the women's side of the things. We had Jocelyn Edwards and Priscilla Cassiera. I know I absolutely butchered her name, don't worry about it. Edwards put an absolute beating on that girl. Cassiera just never brought her backhand up to block her face, and Edwards said, you know what, you're not going to block it, I'm going to hit it, I'm going to hit it hard. And her follow-up shot was even better than Uros Medic's follow-up shot, because whenever she hit her again, she's just laid Priscilla out cold. I think that's the women's knockout of the year by far right now. What do you guys think? Let me know. Then after that fight, we have a knockout of the year contender with Mr. Elijah Smith versus Tassimi Kasama. I know I butchered his name too. Don't worry about it. This man, Elijah Smith, went full Rampage mode. I want you to look at this side by side with Rampage. That man, Elijah Smith, should never be in the Apex again because he is excitement personified, and I cannot wait to see what that young man has next. In the prelim main event of the night, we had Julius Walker taking on Rafael Sequeira. Julius Walker looked phenomenal. He looked untouchable all the way up until the third round, but he was able to survive the third round, and the judge gave him the third round, which I wouldn't have gave. Nonetheless, he was able to win his sophomore outing in the UFC octagon, and I cannot wait to see what Juicebox has next. I think the sky is the limit for Juicebox going forward in his UFC career. Opening up the main card, we had Mr. Christian Leroy Duncan taking on Eric Anders, and Christian Leroy Duncan showed us what got him signed from Cage Warriors, as he was able to get the first round finish after absolutely brutalizing Eric Anders. That spinning elbow he landed to start the finish sequence was absolutely beautiful. I cannot wait to see what Christian Leroy Duncan does next, and he said he has no injury coming out of this fight, so we expect to see him back in there by the end of the year, and I cannot wait to see who he is next. In that fight, we had John Mazamoto taking on Miles John. This fight was a very fun back and forth type of fight. I thought personally Miles John won the fight, but I'm not too worried about it. It was a very, very close fight. I can see it was really depending on how the third round went for you, and I think personally Miles John did a little bit more. John Mazamoto, I'm not going to say, oh, it was a robbery. It was a very close fight, and John Mazamoto is able to get the win and get back on the winning track. And after that fight, we had Andre Touchy-Feely taking on C-Rod, the prospect killer. And this fight, Andre Feely looked absolutely phenomenal. He was the longer striker of the two, and he used his length to all the advantage that he needed to, absolutely rocking C-Rod in the first round. He was able to just keep C-Rod on the outside of his strikes and just keep touching him and touching him and touching him, keeping his head up the center line and catching him whenever C-Rod tried to come in and attack him. And just like that, Andre Feely is able to get back on the winning track. And after that fight, we had Isman Lucindo taking on Angela Hill. Lucindo looked like the younger, fresher, stronger fighter in this fight. Angela Hill really didn't have much to answer to her, as the takedowns wasn't there, and Lucindo was able to pretty much dominate the entirety of this fight. Angela Hill is kind of over the hill, no pun intended, but Lucindo looked absolutely phenomenal in this fight. In the co-main event of the night, we have Steve Erceg taking on Ode Osborne. Steve Erceg said he is coming in this fight fighting for his UFC contract, and he was able to get a very, very fun, exciting fight out of his last fight on his contract versus Ode Osborne after dropping the first round. Ode Osborne came in there on 11 days notice, looking fast, sharp, and very, very powerful inside the first round. The first round was all his. Outside of that, Steve Erceg said, you know what? I can't keep up with him in the striking all the time. I'm going to take him down. And he said, we're going to do this thing called MMA. And he was able to beat Ode Osborne in the grappling part of the fight for the majority of the time. And Steve Erceg snaps his 3-fight losing streak, and he is back on the winning track. Who does Steve Erceg get next? And I'm pretty sure he's going to go back down to flyweight. But I think his next fight should be one of those fights, somebody in the top 10. I think that's next for him. What do you guys think? Let me know. In the main event of the night, we have Anthony Fluffy Hernandez taking on Roman Dolidze. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, wow. Absolutely wow. That performance he put on against Roman Dolidze was perfect. absolutely perfect. Whenever he did get hit, it looked like he wanted to get hit. He wanted to feel something in there. When he wanted to trade in the pocket with Roman Dolidze, he was trading in the pocket with him, and I think he won those exchanges too. And then whenever he wanted to take him down, let him up, beat him up some, take him down, let him up, beat him up some, rinse and repeat. Anthony Fluffy Hernandez was on a whole different level in this fight, and I cannot wait to see what he does next. He's either one away from the title shot, or if something happens, I wouldn't be mad if they gave him a title shot, because he is running through bodies after bodies after bodies. He's on an 8-fight win streak, and I cannot wait to see what they do with Fluffy next. And he was able to finish his fight in the championship rounds, and he looked like he didn't ever break a sweat during this fight. Fluffy Hernandez absolutely demolished Roman Dolidze in this main event. What did you guys think about this card? Was your biggest surprise of the night? Was your biggest, oh my God, that just happened fight of the night? For me, obviously, it's the Elijah Smith. Absolutely, Batista bombed that man. But what did you guys think about it? Let me know down below in the comments. And like always, if you enjoyed the video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Be good people. Peace.